We're going to call this meeting to order. If Sonia take roll call.
Poe.
Yes.
Slater.
Yes.
Tucker.
Yes.
McMurphy.
Yes.
Okay.
We are going to reorganize our agenda and move up what numbers here?
8.
Need to go to 7 to accept Kyle's resignation.
Okay, and then 8, yep.
All right. Item 7, which is discuss and possible action on letter of resignation from Kyle Murrow. Many of you may know Kyle has taken a new position in Colorado and is in the process of moving there, and so with that he'll have to submit a letter of resignation to leave the board, and so I need a motion to accept that.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote.
McMurphy.
Yes.
Poe.
Yes.
Tucker. Tucker.
Are you still there?
Slater.
We just lost him.
He's west of town.
We kind of got to have his. He's kind of important in this process.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we got
And Slater?
Yes.
Okay.
Item number 8 is discussion. Let's see.
Appointing Dr.
Yeah.
K.
No,
Decker.
item 8: discussion and possible action on appointment of Dr. K. Decker to the vacant trustee seat. We'd reached out to Dr. Decker. She's very familiar. She was actually the chairman of this board whenever I first got involved with it, and so had asked if she would be willing to serve back on the board, and she has agreed. So
I'd make a motion.
I'll second that.
roll call vote.
Poe.
Yes.
McMurphy.
Yes.
Tucker. Tucker? Yes?
Yes.
Slater.
Yes.
Thank you, Matt.
Might make it.
Talk to you later.
Welcome, you Decker.
Glad to be here.
Very, very good. All right. Let's move back up and go to item number 3, which is the minutes of our December 12th, 2017 meeting. And the minutes are attached. We need to make one correction because Dr. Decker pointed out that we have 12 a.m. on our minutes.
Oh,
We
sorry.
changed to 12 p.m. and our time is correct on our minutes called to
We
order.
got everything out of you.
That's all good. So.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion we approve them with that correction.
Motion to Randy. Have a second.
Second.
Dr. Decker,
All
second.
right, I'll work on it.
Roll call vote.
See.
McMurphy.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Poe.
Yes.
Slater.
Yes. Item number 4 is the approval of our financials to date. And they are attached in your second or third page.
Sonia, I'll get with you. You need to bring me up to speed on this. On your financials. I don't want to hold everybody
Okay.
asking me questions.
Okay.
I have a motion.
Yes. To approve.
Second.
Yes.
McMurphy.
Yes.
Poe.
Yep.
Slater. Decker.
Yes.
Item number 5 is update, discussion, possible action regarding the status of our goals and staff activities. So at this point, I'll kind of turn it over to Sonia to go through those items.
On the infrastructure, we're still waiting on funding of the infrastructure bill as far as for what we'd submitted on AVARD, which would encompass part of the rural water district. So until we hear something up north, we're lobbying for that. And that falls in with the water resource and conservation. Downtown revitalization and wayfinding signage, that's what I've been working with Kay on for
3 years.
Yeah. So next steps on that,
I've got money to do, TSET money, to do another pedestrian, one for downtown. This one's gonna go in front of City Hall somewhere. And then I've still got to find money to, there's 3 more in the downtown area that we wanna put up, but I've gotta find money to do that.
But that's all been taken very positively. I mean, I've had lots of comments about it.
Yeah.
So, tourism website, social media. Yeah, that's still in works. Partnerships, I mean, of course, we have those we're working with. Communication, we've talked about doing a brochure. We did do the promotion and advertising video. We did it for the Avard property. And then, but as far as the brochures, those have not been developed.
I think, isn't Alpha going to
They're
do its own?
on their side, yeah.
Yeah. So,
And I know Sandy's looking at Winoka.
so do we,
I don't know that we really need one at this point.
I mean, if you wanna do something, rack cards for like business recruitment development, maybe work on that. A rack card's not as complicated.
I'd like to make sure that we have a place to put them.
Oh, you think? That might be good.
So I'm gonna work on that part of it first,
Mhm.
making sure that like the places where they need to be have something to put them in.
Yep.
Housing,
Is that still a need? I mean, I'm asking.
Where we are right now, really, in Alva, Freedom, and Winoka, the individual communities need to work on neighborhood cleanup. There are houses in many of the older neighborhoods that need to come down and make those lots available for redevelopment using existing infrastructure. It's silly to have infrastructure you're not using, in my opinion. And that's for low mod housing. I don't think that we need to worry so much about the high end, because those people are gonna do their own thing.
that's taking care of itself. Cause there's lots of for sale signs in all the towns, but they're not exactly affordable. So,
Affordability is, we still run into people, they may be able to make the payment, but it's the down payment, closing cost kind of thing that they run into that's a problem.
What do you call affordable? I mean, I'm curious.
Well, housing costs typically should not be more than 30% of your take-home income. And so when you've got, for example, a 3-person household, mom, dad, baby, and they're bringing home $32,000, they're definitely going to fit that in Woods County. They're at the low income. 80% of the median household income and below is low income. 60% below is extremely low income. And of course, that's recalculated every year with that, and it depends on the number of people in the household. So most of our teachers, first-year teachers, entry-year teachers, they fit it. Our city and county employees fit it. Entry and mid-level healthcare fit it. So, and of course, all retail practically fit that. You'd be surprised at how many folks actually are considered low income by the federal government.
and I don't know, out of all of our housing, I mean, we don't have much trouble renting them other than
No.
those.
Uh-uh.
I mean, they're looking for them.
Yeah.
And like, we can't rent to like the college students.
Right,
They don't
any,
fit that
any
profile.
property that's funded in part or in whole by HUD or rural development, is not supposed to be rented to a college student unless they're age 23 and older, married, or ward of the court. So, you know, it's always, you have to be careful that you don't overproduce, and at the same time, you need to make sure that you've got decent housing available. And so we're always on the lookout for good opportunities, but I would strongly urge every community in our county to take a hard look at what they can do from a municipal standpoint to clean up neighborhoods of, you know, dilapidated structures, houses that are no longer habitable, and make those lots available for redevelopment.
I mean, originally when this housing was brought up with this committee, it was more related to business development and where are these people gonna live? You know what I mean? And I guess that's my question, is that still something this group needs to be focused on?
I think that is already out there. I mean, there's property already purchased, should that happen for development. So we're not gonna sway them one way or another, they're gonna wait for the people to be here before they do it.
It kind of goes together always. I don't know that that's something that y'all need to worry about.
No.
But definitely need to be in tune with it.
Because at one time, we didn't have people building houses.
Right. That's
But
why
we do
Freedom
now.
West came along 18 years ago.
Business recruitment and assistance, that's ongoing. Actually, we've signed and recruited a new business into the Real Park. It's Excel Stimulation. It's oil field related. And then we have another company that's calling in regards to the incubator building in Winoka that we're discussing with. So the displaced worker assistance, I am still doing some of that with the recent changing with Chesapeake, Sandridge, Mock. Have been chasing down leads for some people that have reached out and asked for assistance finding jobs.
Does anybody know the story on Chesapeake's facility in Winoka? I mean, what are they hiring back?
They've hired back what they are going to at this
Right.
point.
Okay.
They released, of those employees there was a handful stayed with Chesapeake, moved to the other field offices, and then there was 35 layoffs week before last that did not go to Mock that were previous Chesapeake employees. And they state that they anticipate hiring back more as they do more drilling as what's being done currently by Chesapeake.
I'm curious to see what happens now with the legislation, what everybody's gonna do.
So is that the only thing that whole field office now is mock?
Yeah.
That whole footprint, everything used to be Nomac and everything, all that's.
Yeah, what was MidCon is now Mox. I assume it'll have a different entity name, but it'll be owned by them. Which those individuals that are involved in that seem very positive. I mean, they think it's an opportunity. The ones that I see around and talk to from a standpoint that they think there will be more exploration go on than what's been done the last couple of years.
But that was a pretty good hit, 35 people.
Yeah, but I think it's important to realize that Chesapeake laid off 2 months ago that many people from other places, and they didn't the Winoka office. They would have if they
Well, I
didn't
know,
do
but I
this.
meant to our community, that's a pretty good hit.
I don't know how many of those jobs are right here, but I do know some, so yeah, it's definitely an impact for sure.
10 jobs is an impact.
Yeah.
So based on that, I don't anticipate any budget adjustments or anything like that leading into 6. We don't need to move any items around.
Very good. Any other comments on 5? 6, no action on 6. So that takes us all the way down to number 10, which is.
9.
Nine.
9. Yes, 9, excuse me. Number 9 is discussion and possible action regarding our Woods County Economic Development Committee board member terms and vacancies. And so, just for a reference point, Randy is with us through June of 20. Alan is through June of 20. Dr. Decker, he'll
Since you
be
just
June
came
of
on.
21. Sandy is up this June, and we haven't had a chance to chat with her to see what her intent is. She is eligible to stay on another year for her, before
Another
her 3-year
term,
term.
Matt has
Matt
agreed.
is up this time, but has agreed to serve another term. Then Dr. Lowen and I, both our terms expire June of 19. So
And we will do those at June meeting.
we'll, okay. So there's not any action that needs to be taken at this point, just, we'll check with Sandy, see what her intentions are, and then at our June meeting, we'll, we'll sure take a vote to reappoint Matt, and then we'll see where Sandy's at that point. So, number 9, this will be just kind of an informational update, but no action at this time. Item 10 is a motion to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing employment evaluation of Sonia Williams. So I'd like for us to do that, and we'll entertain a
I'll
motion.
make a motion.
Oh, I guess I need to write that
Oh,
down.
second.
Roll call vote.
Murphy.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Poe.
Yes.
Slater.
Yes. Good. Item number 11, a motion to return to public session. Do I have a motion?
Yes.
Randy, a second?
Second.
Okay.
McMurphy.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Poe.
Yep.
Slater.
Yes. Item 12 is the executive session minutes compliance report, and the board
At
convened
8:52?
in the executive session at 8:52
9.
a.m. and we returned to open session at 9 a.m. Those present were myself, Darren Slater, Alan Poe, Kay Decker, Randy Murphy, and we asked Sonia Williams to join us for just a moment. Matters that were discussed were the employment evaluation of Sonia Williams. No other matters were discussed and no action was taken. Number 13 is discussion and possible action regarding the matters in executive session pertaining to the employment of an evaluation of Sonia Williams. I'd make a recommendation that for the reemployment of Sonia for next year.
I'd make that motion or second it, whatever you had.
No, I just need a motion in a second. That'd be my recommendation.
I'll second that.
McMurphy.
Yes.
Poe.
Yes.
Decker.
Yes.
Slater.
Yes. 14, WCIDA update, Sonia.
That board met on the 13th. Brought to my attention a couple buildings that potentially could be available. I think there's one out in the Alva Industrial Park. Then wanted to see about advertising for the incubator space. And I tried calling the chairman yesterday to discuss about having a possible tenant there, so we might not have to do that step. Maybe.
What about signage? Have we done any,
We have not done any
I didn't
signage.
know what we need to do.
we're gonna do signage, we're probably gonna do the same way that we did for the Avon Rail Park. Utilize the same, and I believe we had Lance do that. So we will put some signage up, depending on what we decide. If they're gonna leave it at incubator.
I just didn't know if they were game for that. I knew we had discussed it.
They are game for that.
All right, good.
So, as you all know, we have the Lieutenant Governor's Turkey Hunt coming up, April 11th through the 13th. And we have a guide meeting tonight. Each one of you should have received an invitation already for the dinner. I would encourage you to come.
Is that the 11th? I can't remember.
The 11th and the 12th, yeah. And I will tell you that the Lieutenant Governor will be here late on the 11th, and then he's gonna hunt Thursday morning before he leaves. But it'll be late before he gets here. So if you want a chance at visiting with him, it would be Wednesday the 11th, late. So far our response, we're I think at 23 guest hunters coming. So
How's that compare?
pretty well about the same. I thought we were down a little bit, but once I start following up, then people just haven't responded. So
Yeah, I mean, I was just curious. I didn't have a clue. I can't remember from year to year how
we
many come.
invited to the dinners. There's several more that are coming just for the dinner and not gonna hunt. And I'm saying that we've got like 23 guest hunters, but then we have
Right.
several more guests that are coming for the dinner. And we have invited, like the Water Resource Board, we invited Rural Development. I spoke to Rick DeWitt yesterday. Rick's gonna try and come. So I would encourage you to attend, because those are avenues for us to get financing for our projects. So we want to make sure that we stay in good graces there.
Yep.
So, we'll go to 15, as far as the Alliance, that legislative event was Monday night.
Was
They
it
had,
well attended?
it was okay. They were called back into session, so I mean, I was surprised at how many did actually make an appearance before they had to truck back over because they were,
There's Monday night, the House voted on it.
Yeah, the reps were.
Yeah.
so.
We were with two senators
Yeah.
afterwards.
Right, and I saw Casey there,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, him and Roland were both, and they came
Right.
and met with us after they left there.
so, and it was well attended by state agencies. I thought we were a little light on the Northwest people. From up in our area, Northwestern was well represented.
Yeah.
Northwest Tech, Dr. Harrison and Jane were there, so,
Yeah.
but it was a little light on that side. They did, and Stan Ralston took a picture for me because I put a bug in their ear, and they did honor Merle Swineford.
I saw that, and I'm glad. I wondered
So
how
that was very
good.
That was very
That
good.
needed to happen, I'm sure. It took
They
place.
honored Merle, and they also honored Diane Adams.
Okay, good.
So that was well. It was good for our legislators to hear
Yes.
all the different things how we help ourselves, and the trailblazers for us, and Merle was definitely one of those.
Yep.
So, with that being said, I don't know of any new business.
Announcements. We had a group in Woods County. We hosted a state sports staff conference here. That's right, it's that Monday night, and Tuesday, Mr. Post, it's Monday, they actually had 71 from around the state, from as far away as McAllister to Tulsa, Oklahoma City.
Good.
Monday night, we started out with a tour of the dunes, and so we wrangled up friends that, I don't know if they're still friends after that, but we had 44 of those people sign up, come in the night before, or at least come in for the dune tour. And so, anyway, they was all from Oklahoma, and I don't know that only maybe one had ever been out on the dunes. And so it was very good, and had some local folks from the
Do you know how
area.
many of them spent the night?
Oh, we could find out, but nearly all of them did.
Sure.
I mean,
Over 50.
over 50.
That's
That's
outstanding.
because all of them that were at the dunes did, and there were some that didn't come there that did.
Even our guests from Enid, they come in and spent the night. We had that evening activity, so it was a good woods. You know, many of them had not ever been out here, and my presentation to them was as they were actually in the center of the state when you go from east to west, and so they just thought when they lived in Oklahoma City they were told that was the center, that they had finally come to the center. But that was a good thing, and
Yeah.
so
What kind of group was that?
it was the State Career Tech Support Staff
Okay.
group. And they were in.
Every opportunity that groups, organizations, businesses have to do that kind of thing,
The-
that's
the other-
economic development.
That's right.
The other fun thing was Integrity Imports, Stetson Bohr's shop. They had, I don't know who ran across him here, but he brought out, a bunch of the metal art Karen did. And, it's very popular, so we had decorated with it, and so we made the announcement that, this doesn't belong to the tech center, we don't have all this stuff, but, who it was, and so, I don't know, he
Get it?
sold a bunch of the stuff while he was here, and some people
Good.
went down there, so it was good, so, anyway, the chamber helped us out on some baskets and things, so we appreciate all that, but that was a good deal.
I don't know. Again, just please put it on your calendar and come to the dinners, because I need everybody's support and visiting with everybody. I can't talk to everybody, so.
I mean, there's no way gonna make, it's snake hunt 2 weeks from now.
Yeah,
Snake hunt is a week
after
from,
Easter, all
from
that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, yeah.
Who just telling me?
It's amazing. Since I've been in the dunes, I've paid attention the last 3 or 4 days I've been out, but, it'll be a big weekend. I mean, I just see tons of people coming through town, with buggies and RVing, so I know it'll
Yeah.
be bigger next week, but
Caught
Mud
later.
run and
We
freedom.
caught 17 of them the other day.
say again.
Mud Run is in Freedom this weekend.
Okay. Where is that?
At rodeo
At
grounds
rodeo.
or west.
Very good.
Yeah, it was caught later. Said they caught 17 of them in a bucket this last week.
None of the support staff that I had with Ian was interested in seeing any rattlesnakes, just so far. So, anyway, that's all I got. Anybody, anything else? Thank you, guys. Have a motion to adjourn.
Yep. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Poe,
Yep.
Murphy,
Yes.
Decker, Slater.
Yes.